Hello learners, and welcome to today's lesson of exponents, where we are going to be focusing on the practice and application questions of exponent laws number 3 and 4. Let's get into our questions. So we are going to start with the practice questions, but before we can start, we need to remind ourselves of those laws. Remember, so far we've done 4 of the exponent laws, and that is now multiplication of powers of the same base, division of powers of the same base, raising a power to a given exponent, and of course the last one, raising a product or raising a quotient to a given exponent. And those are the laws that we've done so far. Let's practice those laws and see if we can apply them. So the first one there says, simplify the following without the use of a calculator. Now remember, when we come across our questions like this, it will not state to us which law we should use, but we should use our knowledge to figure out what to do or how to calculate it. Let's look at the first one there. Now we have 3 exponent 4, and that power has been raised to an exponent of 2. Now, can we remember what we need to do when a power is raised to an exponent? Yes, you are correct. Now, the exponents will multiply. So we will have a base 3, then we will have that exponent 4 multiplied by that 2. And that is going to give us a 3 exponent 8. And of course, because now we know our different laws, we can use different methods to calculate that same expression. For example, if again we were given an 3 exponent 4 raised to the power of 2, we know that raising something to the power of 2, raising an expression to the power of 2, means that that expression or that product will be multiplied by itself once. So that means that will be 3 exponent 4 multiplied by 3 exponent 4. And as we've learned from multiplying powers of the same base, what is going to happen to those exponents? We are going to say that is 3, and then we are going to add the exponents, so that is 4 plus 4, and of course that will give us the same answer as the method here above. That is going to be 3 raised to the exponent of 8. So as we can see there, that the different methods, they give us the same answer. So you can choose which law you want to apply and which one best suits you, as long as you use it correctly. Now we have the second one here, which is our 10 exponent 3 raised to the power of 5. Raised to an exponent of 5. So how are we going to work with this? Again, we are going to take this base and we are going to say our exponent 3 multiplied by our exponent of 5. Now this will give us an exponent, a power of a base 10 exponent 15. Now remember, if we want to now simplify this further, we can by factorizing that 10 there. So we can say that this 10 is 2 multiplied by 5. And now what do we have? We have a product that is raised to an exponent. And of course, we know that that is going to be now, because that 2 has an exponent 1 and that 5 has an exponent 1, then that exponent is going to multiply with each of the exponents within the product. That is going to be now our 2 exponent 15 multiplied by our 5 exponent 15, because that 15 comes from 1 multiplied by 15 and again 1 multiplied by 15. Let's look at more of these questions. Now the next one there says simplify the following again without the use of a calculator. We have a product that is raised to an exponent, something that we just did with the second expression there. Now we've been given 3 multiplied by 5, and this is raised to an exponent 2. Now the 3 has an exponent of 1 and the 5 has an exponent of 1. So now we are going to multiply each exponent with the exponents within the product. So that means that we are going to have that 3, 1 times 2, and we're going to multiply that with that 5, 1 times 2. So that is going to be 3. 1 times 2 is 2, so that's 3 squared multiplied by our 5 squared. And that is our final answer there. Then we move on to the next one. We have our 54 raised to the exponent of 5. Now, it might look like a big number, but all we need to do is to simplify it. Now, do we know how to simplify 54? Well, we can start by saying that 54 is 27 multiplied by 2. But of course, you did know that. And we can further simplify that 27 by saying that 27 is our 3 raised to the exponent of 3. Of course, from our knowledge of cube numbers. And that, of course, is multiplied by that 2. Now, keep in mind that that 2 has an exponent 1. And if we apply our laws there, we know that this is going to become 3 exponent 3 times 5 multiplied by 2 exponent 1 times 5, giving us a final answer of 3 exponent 15 multiplied by 2 exponent 5. And that is going to be our final answer there. Did you see how when we started it looked like it was a big number that we couldn't handle it? But of course, with our knowledge, we definitely can do these sums. Then let's look at the next one there. We have 5 cubed, and this is being multiplied by 5 squared. Now, these are 2 powers that have the same base, and they're being multiplied. Do you remember what to do? Yes, of course, when the bases are the same from these powers, then we are going to add the exponents. So that is simply just 5, and then we are going to add the exponents 3 plus 2. Now our 3 plus 2 will give us a 5, meaning our answer is 5 exponent 5. The next one now has 3 powers that are being multiplied, but that shouldn't be any different. How are we going to work through that? Now we are going to say, okay, it is the same base for 2 of them, but this third one is not the same base. I hope you realized that. Now the third one is an 8, and we know that an 8 can be written as 2 exponent 3. So that 8 is 2 exponent 3. What about these powers that have the same base? What can we do there? Well, there we can add the exponents there. So we have the base 3, and we add the exponents, which is a 3 plus a 5. Now, what is our answer going to be? It's going to be our base 3 exponent 8, and this is going to be multiplied by our base 2 exponent 3. Now, are we going to add those 2 exponents? Absolutely not. Why? Because the base is not the same. So we have a base 3 and a base 2, so we cannot add those exponents. We also cannot multiply those bases because the exponents are not the same. Remember, if the exponents were the same, then that means that we can multiply those bases, but we will deal with that further in the lesson. Let's look at the 7th question there. It says 2 exponent 4 divided by 2 exponent 3. Now we are dividing 2 powers, and these powers have the same base. So how are we going to calculate that? We are going to say the base 2, and we are going to say 4 minus 3, because when we are dividing powers that have the same base, we subtract the exponents. Of course, 2 with an exponent of 4 minus 3 will give us an exponent of 1. And then that, of course, we know will be equals to a 2. And the last one of these practice questions, we have the 3 powers that are being divided. So we have 7 exponent 5 divided by 7 exponent 2, and this is divided by 7. Now that last 7 there we know has an exponent of 1, and if we are dividing powers that have the same base, we need to subtract the exponents. So let's go right ahead and subtract these exponents. So that's going to be a 7. And we are going to subtract the exponents, which is 5 minus 2 and then minus 1. And why are we able to subtract all these exponents? It is because the base is the same. So we are going to say there 5 minus 2, which is 3, minus another 1, which is 2. So our answer there is going to be a 7 squared. Let's quickly go to an ad break and then we'll see you just now for the rest of our lesson.